So Canada be like...
It's gonna be a tough one. Does the heater stay on or off? It's loud, I know. Welcome back to Canada, boys. If you guys are interested, oh, my turbos are gone. But what used to be an 8 turbo Mustang, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It is currently between minus 20 and minus 25 degrees Celsius outside, which is definitely the minus Fahrenheit for you guys. So I don't know if any of you will understand what that feels like.
The last time we welded all our V-band flanges on, we also welded up our flapper valves here so the gates don't open. Our plan is to get 2 more wastegates from Nick at Black Sheep. We'll run 4 44mm gates, 2 for each runner, so it'll come off two front runners here, come a gate here, 2 front runners over there, a gate here, and that'll be in another video. I'm just letting you guys know that I didn't forget the wastegate portion of this build.
And now, unfortunately, I have more welding to start this video.
We're gonna build a couple of restrictors just to see if restricting oil helps our oil issue any. The other option is, I have this fuel pressure regulator here. And if I installed it after the rails on both sides and joined up both sides after the rail, I could regulate the pressure inside this whole system to allow it to bypass at like 30 PSI or something.
But like I said, I'm gonna weld these up, we're gonna drill some small holes on them, make some restrictors, and that's where we're gonna start.
Just been welding up some odds and ends here. We capped both of our pipes here. We welded the bracket on the one. We still got to build a bracket for the other one. All the turbos are mounted again, and Tokyo's actually going to drop me off some fittings, so I have a plan here what I'm going to do. You can see in the back of this rail we have a 1/8 MPT for a pressure sensor. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drill out both of them for a 1/8. We're going to run both of them through these -6 lines right here through our fuel regulator. I don't know if fuel is going to hold the oil pressure very good, but we're going to try and regulate our oil pressure, and then the return line at the bottom, we're going to run that back into this tank here. And hopefully this helps regulate down our pressure. This one might be a little bit on the small side, but it's going to be a good test. We can get it down probably around 30 PSI. We might have better results with not blowing through these turbos here. So Tokyo did in fact drop us off some fitting.
And here's a cool little tech tip for some of you guys who probably don't know this, but if you're building like a fuel system or something with oil or something with AN lines on it, and you're missing one fitting, it's gonna be a week to get here and you need it now, you can actually buy steel fittings from a hydraulic shop. Anything that is like JIC 37 degrees is also the same taper as an AN fitting. So that's what we use here. This is an 1/8 inch MPT to 6 JIC.
And that's just gonna fit right in that bad boy right there. I would do it with 2 hands, but I'm using 1 hand to hold my bird, so. Back to the topic at hand here, we have the second rail mounted with a bracket in the front. You can see that it's kind of the same angle as the first one. This looks a lot cleaner than our last setup, that's for sure. We have to cut this one off somewhere the same length as that one to make it look all right. But more importantly, we need to mount our tank now. But I have an idea. We're just gonna use these brackets on the side. We'll cut up some 90 plate, and then we can go from the 90 plate to the frame rail with a bar. Well, we have it all tacked up now. It's just simple. We replaced our Maven mount bar and we just put the tank exactly where the Maven mount was. So it's probably got 1/2 inch clearance from here and I don't know, 3/8 clearance on there. We put it as low as possibly we could. We're gonna have to do something about these drains right here though, because they're not gonna make these 90s anymore. So we'll probably have to cap off these 90s and build something that just goes like into the top at an angle here on both sides. I don't know. Unfortunately, that's the way we gotta do it. I mean, damn, bro. It does look a lot cleaner though. It does look super a lot cleaner. Okay, quick change of pace here. I actually did order this new GoPro 9. I didn't even take the stickers off it yet. I did charge it. And we're gonna try this thing out because I am pretty shaky with this DSLR sometimes, and this is supposed to have hyper smooth mode in it, so we'll give this thing a go, and we'll use this for our time lapses and our filming, and if it's a total fail, then it's a total fail. So there is a significant size difference from the 7 black to the 9 black, and it does have a front screen on it, so that's probably half the reason. So there's some quick GoPro footage here just to test it. Seems to be pretty good right now. That's on wide mode. I'm going to change it here. And this should be the narrower view here. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to try and build some return bungs for this thing. We just have it tacked up for now. I'm not going to fully weld it. But we've got to probably cut up some angles and weld them on sideways like this. Oddly enough, I guess. Film?
Yeah.
Okay, turn around. There you go. You want to show them my tank that I just built? Okay, come here. So we end up making for our tank here, we added a little plate right here so we could add our pump to the bottom of it. And then the pump just kind of hangs in the bottom. And it should all be mounted up on one bracket now with the pump here. It's kind of upsetting that we built a nice tank and then we had to make a couple revisions to it. But, you know, that's how it goes sometimes. So we'll bolt this back up into the car and then we can run our lines. Turn it back at you. Look, there's a selfie version. There's a camera on the front, too.
Ah, hello.
Yeah. Hello. There you go. See now how it's red and blinking?
Uh-huh.
Come on, little filmer guy.
And the back of his car, can I show the back of your car?
We'll show the back of the car.
You just walk all the way over here and then go over here and then look. There's this parachute and there's the back of the car. It's so cool. I really wish this was my car. Wow, Kyle, you actually did a lot. But look at the hole. He made it right there.
Yeah. That's our finished product. You can see we have a little downstream here to our fittings. The problem is I had to raise this up probably 1 inch from what it was because the pump actually kind of hits the fan down there. So I can always redesign that again. But I mean, for now, that's where we're going to run it just to see if we fix our issue. But what we're going to do next, we're going to add our fuel regulator to the back of our rail. So we have to pull out one of the plugs on the rail there. We'll have to tap the other one, put fittings in both of them, and set up a regulator and then run a random line just back into the tank for now. As you can see, this is our work coming to life here. You can tell that we just routed them around the back, looped them. We didn't cut any lines or make any custom lines. These are just the lines that we had, so I just kind of put them there. And then our return line just gonna come into the tank for now. Eventually it'll go probably into this back bung back here. But we'll be able to monitor the flow if we just put it right here for now. What I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna put the exhaust pipes on now. The only thing is I wanna weld a wideband bung in one of these. And these still aren't completely welded up, but I wanna weld a wideband bung in. So next time we start it, we have a reading instead of no reading. So we'll just take a random one here. And we'll get a wideband in that. And the only reason I want to put the exhaust pipes on now is because when you put the oil feed lines on, you kind of want the exhaust there so you don't actually put the line where the exhaust would be. Say hello to a real quick bunghole job. Let's jam 8 of these things on, then put our oil lines on, and we can do a little test. While I'm putting this on, I just want to address one issue, and that's people are saying that I should have done ITBs. The thing with ITBs is that you're then running 8 single cylinder setups versus 1 8-cylinder setup with 8 turbos on it. Because, just for example, it's going to isolate this runner into that runner, and then it's like a single cylinder setup, and you have to tune that single cylinder, because if this boost pressure is different from this boost pressure even slightly, and you're tuning all off just one cylinder, then if this one's got 10 pounds and this one's got 8, you need 10 pounds of fuel in this one and 8 pounds of fuel in this one. And then you're going to need 8 individual wide bands, and then you're going to be able to need to control each cylinder. So it's not realistic to do ITBs. So we're just going to stick with not ITBs. And I hope that our harness is long enough here, and it doesn't look like it's going to be long enough. I should have put it on the other side, but all the exhaust pipes are on. We tilted them all back. It looks kind of cool. Realistically, it doesn't work well with our oil lines. And then by accident, oh, I forgot to tighten these. I put the wideband on this side when I meant to put it on the other side, but I forgot. But for our test, we have oil in the system. We're just gonna hook this up to 12 volts, and then we're gonna see on our gauge right here what kind of pressure we're working at for oil feed. So if I just clamp that right there, because we're using a GoPro, put this line on. It's right under 40, so if we get that's 30. And you can see the extra oil pressure is actually coming out pretty aggressively through this return line on the regulator here. It's fitting stuck. There we go. And that's how much return pressure we're getting from it. So I think there's enough flow to the turbos right now, to be honest. Oh, that's cool, the front view camera. Alrighty, we're going to tighten up our exhaust. We have the wideband plugged in. I moved the sensor connector from here to the back over there. And then we're going to hook up the charge piping. I'll get my laptop out, and then I have to change the sensor from Bosch to NTK because I was using a Bosch before and I put an NTK in it just now. And then we should be able to do another test fire and add like not 50 PSI oil pressure but 30. And hopefully that helps. That's it. Everything's back together. Our big Pro charger valve here. Nasty. We got our oil system on. The laptop's up there. I switched to the NTK sensor. The fam jam's coming out. Everyone's ready for this big blast start. This should be the most progression. We can call this V2 of this system here. And we're just waiting for the Jim Jam to show up, and then we'll fire it up. There she is.
Hello.
Okay, you want to hold this for me for a second? Hey, let's get over
13%, not a lot of percent.
Not a lot of percent. Let's get over our oil system up here again to this 12-volt battery on the floor. Yep, I know.
Professional.
open the door now.
Yep.
That was a success though. It ran like way smoother than it ever has. Our Pro Charger valve didn't stay closed like I wanted it to under vacuum because it's made for a bypass valve, but as soon as you whack the throttle and start building boost, it closes. It's just not going to make the big like noise. I guess I could turn this off too.
Okay, it's too cold to stay out in the garage though with the door open, so I'm gonna peace out.
You're gonna peace out? Peace easy.
Peace easy.
I'm just gonna see if our turbos started leaking here. Yeah, our turbos aren't leaking like they were before here. They were leaking a little bit of oil here before last time. They're not leaking it now. None of these ones are leaking. I mean, that big time when we whacked on the throttle there, it only made 4,700 RPMs and like 0.2 PSI of boost. It gets up to, actually it gets up to like 0.9%. 0.9 PSI of boost, sorry. Fuel pressure looks good. Oil pressure's pretty high because it's still cold. Oh, actually, sorry, it made it all the way up to 5,700 RPM. Well, thank you guys for joining me on my journey so far. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. You don't want to miss what's coming up next. I am working with Black Sheep Industries. We're going to try and do some giveaways in the new year and move things forward with the business and stuff. I do like it tilted back like this. The only thing is we'd have to find a way to tie up our oil lines that isn't going to let them rub on anything else. Those exhausts aren't completely welded just in case we want to change anything like that or put tractor flaps or something like that on there. And our Pro Charger system, like everything up front works fine. The only thing we have to get a solution to is find some caps for the ends of these things right here and then put a spot for this to return back into the tank and then vent this one. But as for a system itself, we have boost, we have oil, we have an exhaust reading back there. Typically with Zoomies, you get an exhaust reading from all four by running like a piece of pipe through one all the way to the four. Not gonna lie, we put a lot of hours into this episode behind the scenes, like welding and fabricating, without actually filming it. So if you guys wouldn't mind giving me that thumbs up, peace easy, and get that V.